Well, in recent times, people have crossed the United States in just about every imaginable way. They've walked, danced, some have even tried to crawl across, I guess. But we think the most unusual feat was just performed by Mr. Carl E. Stroke Stentner, who swam across, and here he is to tell us how he did it. Carl?
Hello, Amazing Feet fans.
Now, the question I asked, and I'm sure most people are asking themselves, is how can somebody swim across the United States? Could you answer that?
Glad to, Bob. When I first decided to do this amazing feat on a dare, I looked at a map and I saw right away that by swimming up the St. Lawrence Seaway, I could only get as far as the western tip of Lake Superior, and then I would become, as they say, high and dry.
Yeah, no more water, huh?
Right. It was then I decided to get a 30-foot-long house trailer, rip the roof off, seal the windows, and fill it in with liquid, water that is, making a mobile body of water capable of following any route across the U.S.
Certainly ingenious,
Hey.
Carl, but how did it work, being as the trailer was only 30 feet long?
I would start at the back of the trailer, Bob, swim to the front, and then I'd swim back again. Now, that would be a total of 60 feet.
Uh-huh.
Now, my brother Charlie would then drive the trailer 60 feet further down the road.
Let's see, figuring quickly...
While Leo was measuring the 60
Who's
feet.
Leo?
Cousin.
Another brother?
No,
Oh.
cousin.
Well, now, that 60 feet per round trip, you'd have to make 88 round trips to move ahead 1 mile, or a total of 264,000 round trips to swim across the country.
Well, those are amazing figures, but I think it was more than that because we used a kind of wiggly route. You're thinking of a straight line.
Straight line as the crow flies.
No, we used a wiggly route along the back roads. The highway people, the cops, thought our pace slowed up traffic. They wouldn't let us on them.
Well, I'm sure you must be a very powerful swimmer anyway, covering maybe 3 or 4 miles an hour.
Well, I don't know. I'd say I'm a poor swimmer. I could probably save myself in an emergency. I used a dog paddle for almost the entire journey.
Well, now, using a dog paddle, like you say, and floundering a lot, how far could you possibly swim in a day?
In an 8-hour day, Bob, we could zoom ahead around 2 miles. Now, the entire trip took 6 years.
6 years?
Yeah.
How'd you support yourself for so long?
Well, we raised a lot of money, just like the South Sea natives who dive for coins. What we did was we'd pull into populated areas and park under apartment house windows, and people would throw coins out into the trailer, and Eddie and I dove for them, Leo, too.
Did you make very much that way?
Not too much. We got mostly cranks who threw stuff down. Garbage, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
And paper bags, stones.
Well, were there any other problems involved in your swim, Carl? Our time is running short.
I'll tell you some of the outstanding troubles, like the water would pour out of the trailer when we went up a steep hill, for instance.
Yeah, I could imagine that.
Or swimming through a sleet storm. An electric power line fell in the water one day. I was fit to be tied.
I can imagine. I understand you have a real nutty feat you're going to try next. You're going to fly across the country in a light plane?
No, I'm going to be strapped to a giant kite pulled behind a fast-moving automobile.
Great.
Be another first.
Well, good luck, Carl, and look out for the high-tension wires and low bridges.
Thanks for the tip, sport.
Well, Ray, what do we do now? They've just given us the signal that we're on the radio.
Well, inasmuch as we haven't anything prepared, why don't you run down to the audience, Bob?
All right, would you...
Gives me a chance to fill in the crossword puzzle we've been working.
Would you hand me that portable microphone guide, please? Thank you. Now, let's see who we will choose as our interviewee.
Me, mister. Me.
No, him.
Him.
How about
Me.
him?
Me.
You, sir?
Maybe, all right.
Okay. Could you tell us your name and what you do, briefly?
Wells Dexter Hernon from Hack Center.
That's quite an unusual name. Is that Welch, or...?
I don't think it's Welch. I never heard my parents talk about it. We never talked much about family heritage in our family.
Dexter Hernon, I just struck me as kind
Just
of...
didn't care much one way or the other. I just had never heard it discussed.
What do you do, sir?
I write secret ingredient words for manufacturers. I think them up.
What are some of the names you have thought up that we might be familiar with, that you could ring a bell with?
Well, how about hexophonascat?
Oh, I remember that one. Mm-hmm. They use that in lipstick, don't they?
Yes. It wards off flies.
Yeah, I've seen that in advertisements.
Right.
What else have you thought up?
STP 614.
What does that do?
This is a bubblegum manufacturer uses this, Mr. Elliott. It makes larger, longer-lasting, almost plastic-looking bubbles that wash right out of children's hair with water.
I should imagine the kids would be more familiar with that one. I don't remember it myself.
I think mothers probably.
Mm-hmm.
Does benachlorocyblic svernahistostropifrine hit a bell?
That
Ring a
does.
bell?
Yeah, it's a medical term, isn't it?
That's right. It's my longest word. I wouldn't say medical. No, it's used by a hockey puck company. It makes the hockey pucks more resilient, last longer.
Certainly is an interesting line of work. How much do you get for each of these words you think up?
Well, it's what the market will bear. Now, hockey puck manufacturers right now are pulling in their belts, so I didn't get too much on that.
Uh-huh.
But now these next folks I came through, and it's given me enough money to send my kid another year in school.
What's that?
Buff Alcatol.
What does that do? That must be a new one on the market. I don't...
It's coming out soon. Be a big advertising campaign. A wine maker is going to use that. This Buff Alcatol is going to buffer the alcohol in the wine so you don't have to trade a good load for an upset stomach or anything.
That's pretty good. Well, wish you a lot of success with it. Any others before we go?
You have enough time.
I guess we could run through one more.
Well, I have this other one, a ring-a-ding. You ever hear that one? Huh?
No.
Yes. Well, it's used in the Alerto tablet commercials. It's to keep you alert while driving, and it does it by causing a ringing in your brain that won't let you sleep.
All right, Ray, have you finished filling in the E's in the paper?
Yeah.
The little E's and
Come
the
on
O's.
up, Bob.
I'm going to come back up.
Bring up that idiot. He looks
Thanks,
and sounds
audience.
interesting.
Been real great talking to you. And hi again, sports fans. This is Biff Burns in the sports room with a salute to the football season as we present our guest, the controversial head coach of Beecher's Teachers College, Foxy Sullivan. Beecher's Teachers is in Vandalia, Missouri, and your 11 is nicknamed what?
The Fighting School Moms, Biff.
That's right, of course.
Probably think it's sissy-ish, but it's traditional with us. When we first started playing big-time football at Beecher's Teachers, we didn't have a very large enrollment, Biff. So we were forced to use some of the huskier girls on the team.
Uh-huh.
And with them, we went through 3 unbeaten seasons.
Did you win by overwhelming margins?
No, usually by forfeit. Nobody wanted to play against a team that used girls. But we showed up for every game, though, fighting mad.
Hence the nickname the Fighting Schoolmarms. Enough about tradition, Foxy. Let's talk football. How's it look for next season? Do you still plan to use the famous sleight of hand plays with your magical quarterback, Eddie Houdini Lefsky?
Well, Houdini quit school this year, you know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Become a croupier at Las Vegas, and being as we can't find an adequate replacement, we're going to revive the old flying wedge formation with a new twist.
With a new twist. What is that?
Well, it's
Foxy?
a sharp corkscrew fitted on top of our helmets. And in practice, we found that when the boys lower their heads and charge, the defending team gives up.
Uh-huh. Well, now getting back to this season's offense, I suppose now that Houdini is making things disappear elsewhere, you can disclose how some of those magical plays work.
Well, as you know, we had about a dozen disappearing ball plays. Now, the most successful one was accomplished by Houdini as follows. Now, he was the T quarterback, and he'd take the snap from center and spin around, fake a handoff to the 2 halfbacks and the fullback. All of them broke then for pay dirt, apparently without the ball. Then all of a sudden, it reappears for a touchdown.
You mean the ball temporarily disappeared? How was that?
Well, Houdini deflated the ball the size of a handkerchief and gave it to the guy holding the compressed air capsule, who palmed it and then reinflated it when he was running in the clear.
Sheer genius, Foxy.
I was
That one,
dirty.
of course, was barred by the AAU ruling against ball deflation.
I know. And
How did its success of the famous fat fullback play work?
Fatso Finnegan didn't weigh 280 like the roster said. He only weighed 140. We patted him out to look fat and left a hollow spot big enough for the ball under his jersey.
Oh, then Houdini would stuff it in there and away he'd go, huh?
It worked okay until the AAU came up with some silly rulings against fraudulent rosters and football jerseys with secret compartments, a rule that was later expanded to cover oversized hollow helmets. I guess they're coming out against the corkscrews on top of our helmets,
I wouldn't
too.
be surprised. And so in one fell swoop, your belly series and your head series were wiped out. And that's about all the time we have for the Sports Room today, fans. We've been talking with Foxy Sullivan, wily coach of the Fighting Schoolmarms of Beecher's Teachers. What did you say your mascot was, Foxy?
It's a grinning Cheshire cat.
Well, thanks for coming up, and good luck with your flying wedge with a twist. This is Biff Burns saying until next time, this is Biff Burns saying so long.
Time now for a new Bob and Ray human interest feature entitled In the First Person. Every day we read of exciting and extraordinary happenings to people throughout the world. And believing that these stories are best told in the first person by those who live them, we've invited several to our studio. Now, let's meet our first guest, flown in from Okinawa, Private Peter Trabolski.
Hi.
Well, I suppose you're a bit nervous being the first in the first person guest.
Yeah.
Now, you were in the Army, and it is with their kind permission that you're with us today.
That's right. They thought it would be good public relations to send me.
Let's get right to your story, which I'll read, just as it appeared in hundreds of newspapers.
That many, huh?
At least. Now, here's the story. When Private Peter Trabolski arrived in Okinawa, he was issued a new poncho. Written inside the poncho was the name of someone he once knew who had served there earlier. Well, Peter, that's quite a story, and we'd like you to tell it to our listeners in the first person as you lived it.
When I arrived in Okinawa, I was issued a new poncho. Written inside the poncho was the name of someone I once knew who had served there earlier.
Well, is that the whole story?
That's about it.
Well, thank you, Peter Trabolski, for coming here today. Your plane back to Okinawa is warming up, so you'll have to hurry. Swift journey home and good luck. And now, here's Bob with our second in the first person guest.
Thank you, Ray. Private Trabolski certainly proved once again that the finger of fate is indeed fickle. Now let's meet Miss Felix T. Fido of New Bern, North Carolina.
It happened 8 months ago.
Wait just a second, Miss Fido. I'd like to read the story first as it appeared as a filler item in Hearsay magazine.
Sorry?
Here's the story. In New Bern, North Carolina, Miss Anita Bengston, 58, heard a local television station offering $500 to the first person reporting there with the same name as a cat food company. She rushed to the courthouse, changed her name to Felix T. Fido, and then went to the station, and the sponsor paid her the money. Now, will you tell us the story in the first person, Miss Fido?
Well, you covered it pretty well, except you didn't mention that the company never expected anyone to have that name.
Oh,
And I had to threaten legal action before they coughed up with the
See
loot.
the chagrin there.
Yes.
What happened next?
Well, after they paid me, I was going to change my name back to Bengston. But they thought it would be a good idea to use me as a promotional personality for their cat foods. I do a nice cat imitation, you know.
I didn't know that. You free to do it for us now?
I don't think so. The cat people frown on getting free plugs.
Well, our loss. But your wonderful story wasn't simply by changing your name, you won a pile of money and launched an exciting and profitable show business career, leaving a dull, humdrum life behind you.
Well,
And
now, wait. My past was far from humdrum. I was a lady mobster. My heyday, nothing moved in North Carolina without my say-so.
I
There was
see.
one time we were making brew in the back of a
Well,
beauty parlor.
I don't like to
and
cut you off like
big
this,
vat of
Miss
mash
Fido, but
was
our
just
time is up. Tune in again for more exciting stories in the first person. Well, it's a little bit early in the year, perhaps, to be talking about summer, but plans are underway for our big Bob and Ray summer home. I'm sure you've read about them in your local newspapers, Ray. We're here to kind of show the folks around by means of radio and to describe this great amusement area that we're fast in the process of setting up. How do you
we
feel?
are using this time, friends, to bring you the news that we hope you will welcome. That you will, this summer, be able to come to Bob and Ray's summer home, pay a small admission fee, and walk about this huge amusement area that we're building as an adjunct to our summer home.
Out of a swamp, I might say, because we are reclaiming this rather desolate and useless land within 18
Bob, I want to
minutes
go
of
over
New
and check
York.
on the snake house. I'll
Right.
be back in a little bit.
I'm standing right next to the shish kebab pit, and I'd like to have a few words with Pierre Detour, our architect, the man who has well, laid the groundwork, more or less. Pierre, I wonder if you'd step over to our microphone now and
Sure, on it there.
tell us a few of the plans for the Bob and Ray summer home area. It's not just going to be for Bob and Ray, it's going to be for everyone if
It's
they
going
pay.
to be made so it will attract all people on it there, Bob. Not so much just you and your partner on it there, but we was hope that people who would come around here will come on in and take a look there.
Well, I know you've gone to a great deal of trouble.
Trouble on it.
Standing here, we're facing north, I guess, from this lower end of the swamp. Is that right?
I don't know there. I'd have to wait for the sun to come up on it there. We have not had no sun here for 2-3 days. I was
Well,
forgetting now which way it was east.
there's a
Of
little
course,
bit-
from east I could tell where's north on it.
It's a little bit gloomy, but men are working at fever pace. What is that building being erected over there? Can you tell me,
Oh,
Pierre?
Bob, that's a tool house there. That's not part of it.
Oh, that won't be
no,
there when
that's
the
just a
thing
tool house. That's where our contractor will stand in there with a phone there. He was called out for more cement on it.
One of the big things that struck me in going over the
Bricks,
plans...
too, there, and some gravel.
What's that?
Some gravel there. He would call out from that tool house there to get more gravel. Come over here to fill up the swamp.
Can you
all
tell
the
me...
swamp has not been drained there, Bob, because we're making part of it there a scale model of the Okefenokee swamp
The
on it.
Okefenokee Swamp is going to be a big feature here this summer.
That's it.
And also, I think the Peacock Farm would
Yes.
attract a great many people.
There'll be a peacock farm here also. They will march in precision there when they get trained. These peacocks, they're very pretty, you know.
I've
They're
seen
birds.
seen similar things done with flamingos. How about the Bob and Ray Corn Clinic? Has anything been done on that yet?
Yes,
where people can
persons
come and-
will be able to come now with their ears of corn and show it to a man there who'll tell them what's wrong with their soil.
I
there.
see, and then they can go back and grow better crops. Well, I think that's about all the time we have to cover right at the moment. And, of course,
I know.
we'll be back here.
That's a
with-
change there. You fellas wanted a corn clinic for
For the
sore
feet.
feed there, but
We couldn't get any
we can't
doctor
work
to-
it out there.
all the doctors
So
wouldn't
we're
go
going to
along
go for
with
the
it.
other corn on the
Okay,
ears.
Pierre, and I'm going over there and pick up Ray, and we'll go back to New York.
He's stuck on the quicksand there. You better hurry there.
Have future broadcasts from the Bob and Ray Summer Home.
Questions again from the folks here in the studio with us. Questions about the Bob and Ray show.
I have one.
I think also that it would be nice that if
I
you,
have a question.
we recognize you, so go ahead.
My name is Ray Golding. That's
wait.
a coincidence.
No, come on. We
No,
want,
it is. It is.
We want your right name.
That's my right name.
And we want your affiliation. For instance, if we call upon you, sir, you would stand up and say, I'm Frank McGee, NBC News,
I'm
New
Ray
York.
Golding, Finley Quality Network.
Now,
And I just wanted
All
to
right.
know,
Go ahead.
can I leave before the broadcast is over, or are we locked in?
we're not locking the studio. The only thing is that we would ask that you stay until the program is over.
Out of courtesy, huh?
Right, if you would, okay. If
All
not,
right, you can
it's
sit
your-
down, sir. Ray, let me see if I can do any better with someone. You told me, sir, you had an interesting question before we went on the air. Would you stand, identify yourself, your affiliation, and then give us the question?
Frank McGee, NBC News, New York. I'd like to ask this question. Is Mary Magoon really like the way she acts on the show? In other words, is she really like that in real life?
I don't know how you could possibly think that she isn't. All of our staff, of course, is just like a big family. Frank?
There's no sham attached to any of these wonderful people. It's to
Well,
know-
she's just as sweet and has the same quick smile and generosity that she displays on the air, off the air. If you met her down in the lobby or, well, anywhere, in a restaurant, she would be as warm and vivacious as
think,
she appears here on our show.
I think, Bob, also, and this would be of interest to you, Frank, that she is a wonderful conversationalist. She has a fund of knowledge, and she's witty about it. You could talk to Mary for hours and hours, and let me assure you, never be bored.
There's nothing phony about her. There's no false
has,
veneer that
she
she
has
puts
had,
forth just for radio.
Plenty of heartache in her life, and has gone on the air with serious problems, and yet nobody has ever known it.
No, I can never remember her saying a harsh word to anybody or raising her voice, as a matter
Never,
of fact.
never. Bob and myself, yes, we have from time to time blown up on the air, and
But as far as Mary Magoon goes, well...
there is nothing F-O-N-Y, phony.
P-H-O-N-Y.
Huh? Oh,
EY.
about Mary.
Do we have
believe
that
me.
tape, John? Just to prove this, somebody we didn't have time to do it ourselves, but I think Webley Webster made a tape in the lounge before we went on the air.
I'm all set to play the tape that shows how Mary is as sweet and as
Really is.
even-tempered as you gentlemen say.
And she didn't know this was being recorded,
She
right?
did not. It was taped this morning.
Good. Well, would you play that, please, for
Why?
us?
Blue!
What?
Blue!
What's the matter,
That's
Mary?
the third time I've asked you to get your overtime slip.
Well, you don't have to yell at me for it. I'll get the overtime slip
Well,
in
if
just
you'd
as soon
listen
as I
the
can.
first time around, another
Well,
thing,
I hear
lay off
everything the first
phone.
time around, and so does everybody
I'm
else
sick
around
and
here.
tired of you using the
Oh,
phone
why
here for
don't
private
the two of you
business.
dry up?
Quiet, Tex.
Quiet, will you, gang? I'm trying to read
Try to
here.
get
I got
ready
a
to
book
go on
review
the
to
air.
do.
I've got a
Oh, dry up,
broadcast
Webster.
to
You're
do.
a pest. You're all... Get out. Everybody
Oh.
out. Stay out. Come back tomorrow.
We couldn't hear that
no.
tape here in the studio, but I'm sure it does answer your question, Frank, and
Why
I
don't you
think
come
it will-
back afterwards, Frank, and we'll play it for you after we go off the air.
Right.
Bob and Ray here now with another one of Bob and Ray Faces America's Problems. With great advances and strides being made in high mathematics and in science, there still are simple problems in basic arithmetic that somehow are causing severe troubles all over this country. I think we can demonstrate that now by turning on a microphone that we have installed at a huge food supermarket not too far from our studios. See what we mean when we say that America must face up to arithmetic and particularly fractions.
All right. Your beans, your bread, and
Lovely day we're having.
just a
isn't it?
minute, ma'am.
It's been a nice season.
Ma'am.
Yes.
This canned corn is 3 for $29. You've only got 2 cans here. Do you want to go back and get the other one?
No, I only want
It's the last
two.
item on your list.
I only want the 2.
I know, but it's 3 for $29.
Is that so? I know it says on one can 3 strike 29.
That's
Is
right.
That what that means?
3 for $29.
Uh-huh. But I don't want
You
3.
don't need- you don't
As a
need
matter of
3.
fact, I'm the only one in the house who likes this particular kind, you see.
I see, but that
So
doesn't
to
help
buy
me any.
3 would be almost a lifetime
I
supply.
know, but if you buy 2, you see, it comes out to 9 2/3 cents a can, and we don't have fractions on the
Yes.
machine here.
Uh-huh.
So you'll have to either take 3 or I'll have to charge you for 3, I guess.
I don't want 3 now, please.
Couldn't you invite
understand.
somebody over for dinner and
I don't know a
use-
soul. I don't know a soul who likes this as much as I do.
But you do understand my problem, don't you, ma'am? This
You
has got to...
have my sympathies, but honestly, I do not want.
There's
I was
another
thinking of
brand
taking
over there
just
that's
one.
2 for 16.
Oh, no.
Wait
Well,
just
I
a
have
moment,
to,
will you,
yeah.
ma'am?
All
I'll have
right.
to get the... Mr. Flurd. Mr. Flurd.
Yes.
Would you step over here a minute?
You want to check cash? Can I see your
no,
driver's
she
license,
doesn't.
ma'am?
Look, it's
Yes,
this, Mr. Flurd.
Here it is.
You don't need to see her driver's license. I know her. But she wants
Oh.
2 cans of this 3 for 29-cent corn.
Yes. You want what?
She only wants 2 cans, Mr. Flurd.
Yes.
And you see, we
Well,
can't make it come out on the machine.
Ma'am,
right.
it's 3 for 29.
That's
you
what
have to
I
take-
told her, Mr. Flurd. I
Thank
told
you.
her that.
You have to take 3.
No, I don't. No, I don't have to take 3.
Comes out to 14 and a half cents if she takes 2, Mr. Flurd.
about it, lady. I mean, you gotta take the 3, that's all. Look, I'll tell you what, can we
You're holding up the line, ma'am.
I don't have the money for 3.
Mr. Flurd, can you handle this? Because I don't know what to do. I've been...
It's almost our 15th anniversary. How about us making a... No, that wouldn't work either. I was going to suggest that we give her one.
She doesn't want it, Mr. Flurd.
Well, if...
I tried to get her to take the 2 for 16, but she wouldn't
take
do
a
that.
third one, and I'll take it out of your expenses.
Thank you, sir. You certainly know how to solve problems.
I don't want 3. Take them all back.
So there you have it. Fractions in arithmetic causing trouble across the country.
note just came in
There's
here,
a
Ray.
store that lost a customer.
Ray, here's
Yeah.
a note just came to us.
Fine. This note says that in a case of an item of 3 for 29, if a person buys only 2, they would ordinarily charge 10 cents apiece or 20 cents for 2.
Make it come out
3
even.
for 29, which would be the bargain, encouraging people to buy 3, but
Yeah.
they didn't. Oh, I see. Well, shucks. Forget that problem, America. Forget it.
It's nothing to worry about. Life's little problems seem big at the time. I can laugh about this now, but I had rather Well, not an unpleasant, but rather a peculiar experience this week in taking a suit to my
Who are
corner
you?
cleaner. Huh?
Who are you?
Bob Elliott.
Oh,
And I had my portable tape with me,
yes.
and I'd like to play it for you. Morning, sir.
Aye.
I'd like to get the suit cleaned if I can.
Okay, do you want the
Can you give me the
4 hour,
quick-
or-
yeah,
You do?
4 hour,
Okay. Do you want it pressed and all? Clean and pressed.
Cleaned and pressed, yeah.
Uh,
I'll pick it up about 3:30.
Wait,
We've
just
got
a
a
second. This spot here on the coat. On
Yeah.
The, what's
Well,
it?
there's several spots there. I'd
What's
like
this
to have the
spot?
whole thing fixed up.
What's this spot here on the lapel?
I don't know what that is, but
What?
that's your.
Well, look, we have to know what the spot is to
Well, I
use
thought
the
you had
right
some kind of
spot
an all-around,
remover. No. Now, I have a reputation,
I know you do. I've been coming here for years. I
right,
know you
and,
do good work.
but you've never had this thing before. I don't know what is
What
it?
thing? What do you mean?
The
This suit?
spot. No, the suit. Is it new? I've never seen
No,
this
it's
suit before.
about 6 months old.
Is
I
this
don't
your
believe-
suit?
Yes.
Gee, you've put
I
on
haven't-
weight, huh?
I haven't worn this too often.
Oh, what is
fact,
this spot here on the by the button here on the sleeve?
Oh, it looks like Chinese food.
It is.
But
Well,
I
what?
haven't-
Well, that's swell. Well, at least we know that. Now, is it what? So we can.
Horseshoe duck.
Oh, now don't get fresh with
I'm
me.
not,
I've been
that's
in
what it
business
is.
over 15 years.
That's what it
sir.
is on there. Is horseshoe duck is one of my favorites.
Horseshoe duck.
Yes.
Well, I can't put that on a cart. I have to put
Well,
down.
don't you have a chart that tells you what kind of
Yes.
stuff to use for what
Right.
kind of spots? Well,
All
that's
right, I'll get
horseshoe
my-
duck.
Right. Let me get the chart. You show me where horseshoe duck is.
Well, do you have a chart with Chinese food on it?
It doesn't have horseshoe duck. It has spare ribs.
Has Mugu Gai Pan?
It doesn't have horseshoe duck.
Well,
Helen, do
why
you
don't you
know,
use the same thing you use for
Helen, do you know
Mugu
anything
Gai
about
Pan?
Chinese food? What? Do you know anything about Chinese food?
Oh, isn't this awful?
Yes.
Just clean the suit.
Not much. What's horseshoe duck made out of? Now don't get fresh with me. Land's sakes.
I didn't mean to get you into trouble with her, but can't you just try one kind of cleaner on it? Maybe
She's,
that'll work. or-
You know, she's a little wild.
Yeah.
She's flipped. I don't know. I tell you what, I'd rather not clean this suit at all, sir, if you don't mind.
I tell you, here's
because,
some. I've got an idea.
Right.
Why don't I call the Chinese restaurant where I ate that time and ask them what they do to get this spot out?
Okay, wonderful.
And then I'll come back and tell you. And,
Do you have any other Chinese stains so that you can wrap it all up in one phone call?
Well, sweet and sour pork, but you've taken
I
that
know
out
what
before.
how to get that off. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's on the chart,
This
isn't it?
spot here looks like whiskey, is it?
That could be, yes, I suppose it is. I'll give them a call and be back in a few minutes.
All right. Just another problem that America faces.